today.
Athens residents show their support for the return of Veterans Day celebrations.
It was great to see so many people who appreciate veterans and their families.
An iconic Ohio University Marching 110 director has passed away.
I wanted to appeal to the student body.
And in sports, Ohio football is riding a 2-game winning streak as the end of the season approaches. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Curtis Fader, and welcome to Newswatch, your source for the latest news impacting southeastern Ohio. Investigators say they believe they've found the remains of a missing Nelsonville man. According to the Athens County Prosecutor's Office, detectives found the remains they believe to be 30-year-old Brian Bridgman yesterday. Bridgman has been missing since June 7th, and he was last seen leaving his residence on June 4th. The investigation into his disappearance has spanned at least 2 other states over the past 5 months. The case remains under investigation. The Ohio State Highway Patrol is investigating a fatal crash in Meigs County that killed an Ironton man last night. Police say 28-year-old Tyler Goss was traveling north on County Road 10 near State Route 124 when he drove off the right side of the roadway. After striking a culvert, Goss drove back on the road and veered off again to the left side, flipping the car into a creek. The solo driver was then pronounced dead by the Meigs County Emergency Medical Service. Goss was taken to Birchfield Funeral Home, and the crash remains under investigation. Chillicothe's intersection of Douglas and Washington Avenues is now closed following a train derailment yesterday. Chillicothe Police Sergeant Brock Yoder tells the Chillicothe Gazette no injuries were reported. And the incident was initially reported around 3 p.m. Wednesday, and the cause of the incident remains under investigation. The City of Athens' annual Veterans Day celebrations is back for 2021. WOUB's Ben Schwartz was at today's parade and ceremony to speak with some veterans about their experience.
An upbeat return and solemn conclusion for this year's Veterans Day celebration in Athens. Coming after last year's hiatus due to the pandemic, it's clear Athenians were ready to show out for the comeback.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, but Mayor Parison's request came as part of his mayoral proclamation issued today, where he called upon all Ohioans to thank veterans for their service. Now let's move on to Aaron Ashley, who has a first look at our weather.
Thank you, Curtis. We apologize for the technical difficulties as we try to difficulties as I try to get the graphics out here behind me. Right now in Athens, we're going to see rain until midnight with a temperature of 61 degrees. Wind gusts could get up to 20 miles per hour, but generally winds are going to be anywhere from the southern direction, And across the region, expect to see temperatures in the low 60s, 61 degrees in New Lexington, Newark, and Cambridge, and it's going to be a little bit warmer to our east in New Martinsville, 66 degrees, 64 degrees in Marietta, 64 degrees in Ripley, and then 63 degrees in Ironton. As this cold front will move through our region, you're going to start to see that rain appear in the west. It's going to move farther east as we head into tonight, bringing those cooler temperatures as we head into the week. Looking ahead, there's some highlights to expect as a cool down as a result of this cold front moving through our region. This will also bring a potential rain shower or two heading into tomorrow, and even a chance for snow on Saturday morning. I'll talk about this in my full forecast, but for now, back to you, Curtis.
Thanks, Aaron. The parents of a 6-year-old girl were arrested after meth was purportedly found in the girl's sweatshirt at school. Police were called to Neal Elementary School in Vienna yesterday morning after suspected meth fell out of the adult sweatshirt the girl was wearing. Police executed a search warrant at the parents' Vienna home where they found more suspected meth. Crystal and Stephen Eggleton have been charged with child neglect and creating risk of injury. Columbus officials announced on Wednesday tuition-free community college will become an option for new graduates from Ohio's largest school district. The Columbus Promise Initiative could help Columbus City Schools graduates classes of 2022, 23, and 2024 attend Columbus State Community College free of charge. Students could also get additional money for expenses such as books and access to academic and career supports. District and college officials say this initiative could help close equity gaps and make college a reality for more students. A former Ohio University Marching 110 director, Gene Thrailkill, passed away yesterday at the age of 83. The Marching 110, as we know it today, including the uniform and marching style, was created under his leadership. 54 years after his tenure from 1966 to 1971, his legacy lives on in the Marching 110. According to the Marching 110 Facebook page, Thrailkill went on to a long and storied career as director of bands at the University of Oklahoma and the Pride of Oklahoma Marching Band. Up next, a state bill which could allow teachers to bring firearms to classrooms. And another bill is looking to regulate protesters in Ohio. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
The third round of the playoffs are here, and we're down to 16 teams per division, and get ready for the start of playing at neutral sites. These matchups only get better as Jackson plays Western Brown in a rematch. We'll also see Bloom Carroll play Heath. Also, don't forget to vote for our Player of the Year. Voting is available on our website right now. So turn the channel to WOUB next Friday at 11:30 p.m. or 11:30 a.m. on Saturday to catch all the action. We'll see you then.
The best journalism is that which builds communities.
We're on deadline, ready to put it on the page.
I get real uptight about deadlines.
Son Tom Cullen, our reporter, lives the job.
We've always operated at the break-even point.
$7.
The newspaper not being around terrifies me.
Readers decide our future, not any branch of government.
Storm Lake, Monday, November 15th at 10 on Independent Lens.
I promised I wouldn't cry.
On Finding Your Roots, journalist Nina Totenberg.
It just makes me so curious.
And talk show host Andy Cohen.
I'm scared.
Ancestors who overcame enormous odds.
She got up by the skin of her teeth.
She was a fighter.
Plus,
You gonna tell me who my cousin is now?
Yes. Please turn the page.
You're kidding me. Yes.
Finding Your Roots.
Art is important because it shows who we were, where we came from.
Through my art, I'm creating a more powerful woman within myself.
Inspiration is everywhere. It's important that we learn our culture, our practices. We are tied to the land. That's our blood. That's where we come from.
Welcome back to Newswatch. We apologize for the technical difficulties before, but the Veterans Day celebrations is still here in 2021, and Ben Schwartz goes in depth on that experience.
An upbeat return and solemn conclusion for this year's Veterans Day celebration in Athens. Coming after last year's hiatus due to the pandemic, it's clear Athenians were ready to show out for the comeback.
I think the desire and conditions of the pandemic allowed for people who were eager to get out to take part in such an event. So it was great to see so many people who appreciate veterans and their families, and a great weather day helped contribute to that outcome as well.
Brigadier General Chad Mansky is an Air Force veteran who served for more than 30 years before retiring in 2019. He spoke in front of the crowd during today's ceremony, marking the first time he's worn his Air Force uniform since retiring after 30-plus years of service.
To put this uniform back on, which is the first time I've put it on in 2 years since I retired, is always an honor. I just feel blessed to have served so long.
And while the day in Athens includes a parade down Court Street with the support of local marching bands and organizations, for Joe Loftman at least, it's still the little things that matter most.
It feels really good to have somebody say, thanks, and mean it. You know, not that BS, thank you for your service as an aside, you know, but look you in the eye and say, thank you for what you did. You know, that's pretty cool. Or if they say even better is welcome home.
Athens Mayor Steve Patterson spoke during the ceremony as well. As an Air Force veteran himself, Patterson asked the crowd to acknowledge that while they can never fully repay their veterans, they can always respect them. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Ben Schwartz in Athens.
Thanks once again, Ben, for that. But moving on from there, teachers in Ohio may soon be allowed to carry weapons in the classroom. Legislation has advanced in the State House Committee and could soon be moving forward for a full House vote. Republican State Representative Thomas Hall wants to remind people this bill is not a mandate for every school district. However, others still have some concerns. Meg Shaw has more.
Was 2016 when a 14-year-old student opened fire at Madison Junior-Senior High School, injuring 4. The school is where Republican State Representative Thomas Hall's father works.
He was there when the shooting happened on a part-time basis, and now he's obviously in a full-time, and they added another school resource officer.
That shooting prompted the district to approve a policy which allowed employees to voluntarily carry concealed firearms inside buildings if they have a concealed carry permit and undergo active shooter training.
It is my opinion that the schools should have a big part in the decision of how much training is necessary for armed staffers to be in their school.
But this past June, the Ohio Supreme Court overturned that policy after a lawsuit, which is why Hall introduced House Bill 99, which says school employees can carry guns only if they complete a minimum 20 hours of firearm training.
We put some training in the bill, and we still left it open for the local school district to decide what's best.
But opponents like Democratic State Representative Tavia Golonsky of Akron says the training is not enough.
By Ohio introducing a weapon into the classroom, I believe that introduces more problems than it solves.
Now, House Bill 99 is also opposed by teachers' unions, the Fraternal Order of Police of Ohio, and gun control groups. But Hall argues it's designed so that schools that can't afford protection can have it, and they may require more training if they wish.
I think in talking with these school leaders and talking with the opponents and the proponents, it's just reminding people that, hey, this is not for every school.
The bill now goes to the full House for consideration and a possible vote as early as next week. A separate Republican bill moving in the Ohio House would target protesters with regulations that are reserved for terrorist activity. Cindy Abrams and Sarah Carruthers are the GOP House lawmakers who opposed the legislation that would allow police officers harmed during riots to sue individuals and organizations that provide support. This includes material and financial support or lodging and transportation. The bill also increases penalties for rioting and creates the offenses of riot assault and riot vandalism, with the ACLU calling the piece of legislation, quote, an attack on free speech. The Kyle Rittenhouse trial is moving closer to a conclusion. Rittenhouse is facing homicide charges for killing 2 people and wounding another during unrest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last summer. Camila Bernal has the update on the defense strategy after Rittenhouse took the stand to defend himself yesterday.
After emotional testimony, now a more technical witness. John Black, a use of force expert, the first to take the stand Thursday.
Based on my analysis, the kick to the face occurred prior to the gunshot.
Rittenhouse's case relies on self-defense. He says he did nothing wrong and instead was ambushed during protests related to the police shooting of Jacob Blake in August of 2020.
He was very well prepared. He was confident in his decisions to have done what he did.
But prosecutors say Rittenhouse's actions constituted criminal homicide. He's charged with 5 felonies: first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, attempted first-degree intentional homicide, and 2 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety.
It's not black, it's not white. You cannot isolate the fact that this meatball goes to a riot with a rifle.
Rittenhouse is also facing a misdemeanor for possessing a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. One expert says that if the jury believes he was defending himself, It could focus on the lesser charges and on why he was in Kenosha that night.
The jury is going to have a hard time chewing on that. So they may find them guilty of lesser included offenses.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Coming up, how Ohio University students are swapping clothes to promote sustainability. That story still ahead.
And tonight's rain will pull down our temperatures. I'm tracking down our first glimpse at winter weather, but for now, take a look at stocks of local interest.
Best journalism is that which builds communities.
We're on deadline, ready to put it on the page.
I get real uptight about deadlines. Son Tom Cullen, our reporter, lives the job.
We've always operated at the break-even point. $7.
The newspaper not being around terrifies me.
Readers decide our future, not any branch of government.
Storm Lake, Monday, November 15th at 10 on Independent Lens.
This month in Passport on the PBS video app, your on-demand library for the best of PBS.
Could we talk about the fact that we killed a man? Why would we want to do that?
I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to the science.
Muhammad Ali was the most important man in the world.
The price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
These and other shows from your PBS station are available with Passport on the PBS video app. Download it today.
Art is important because it shows who we were, where we came from.
Through my art, I'm creating a more powerful woman within myself.
Inspiration is everywhere. It's important that we learn our culture, our practices. We are tied to the land. That's our blood. That's where we come from.
I promised I wouldn't cry.
On Finding Your Roots, journalist Nina Totenberg
It just makes me so curious.
and talk show host Andy Cohen.
I'm scared.
Ancestors who overcame enormous odds.
She got up by the skin of her teeth.
She was a fighter.
Plus,
You gonna tell me who my cousin is now?
Yes, please turn the page.
You're kidding me.
Yes!
Finding Your Roots.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Newswatch. I'm your lead forecaster, Erin Ashley. Looking at the skies above, you can see that there's a faint line of clouds towards our west, and that's going to slowly push into our region, causing any rain that you might see currently right now or as we head into tonight. And looking at the surface features analysis, you can expect to see a chance of rain being created by this cold front moving towards us and this warm front moving away from us. We're right here in this little crevice right here that'll be the source of some chaos as we head into tonight, that chance for rain. Your main hazards are going to be heavy gusts at 8 p.m. It's going to be 58 degrees as that rain will persist. Going to cool off a little bit to 55 degrees by 10 and at 51 degrees at midnight. Rain will start rolling out as we head into the early morning hours, but the low for tonight is going to be 41 degrees. Again, we will see a wind chill of 38 degrees. So wind chill is basically saying like this is the temperature, but wind is going to make it feel like it's 38 degrees. It's definitely a night you're going to want to plan ahead. Bring a jacket, a rain jacket, especially because that rain chance will be seen all across our viewing area with temperatures in low 40s with higher temperatures of 43 degrees in Ironton, Ripley, and Marietta. It's going to be a little bit cooler to our west with that cold front slowly moving in. 40 degrees in Chillicothe, New Lexington, and Newark as well. Looking at the surface features analysis, right here, that cold front for tomorrow, it's going to sort of stay in our viewing area, going to be the cause for a chance of rain that we might see heading into the early morning hours, and that chance for mixed precipitation actually. And so this little hint of blue over our area, that's going to indicate a chance for mixed precipitation, Mixed precipitation could include anything such as rain, sleet, even snow. I know I enjoy snowy weather, especially heading into Thanksgiving, but that will be something we can look forward to heading into Saturday morning. Tomorrow morning, however, 8 a.m., it's going to be a chilly start, 42 degrees. It's going to warm up a little bit to 50 degrees at 10 in the morning. Winds are going to be pretty high, sitting at 10 miles per hour. It's going to warm up a little bit as well as we head into noon, as clouds will begin to move out, allowing the sun to sort of peek through and make us warm again. Our high is going to be 57 degrees with a chance of overnight precipitation. Again, that precipitation could include anything such as sleet, snow, and rain. It really just depends on how the temperature is looking as we head into tomorrow night. Temperatures could get as low as 32 degrees, which is going to be indicative of some sleet or some snow. But winds are going to be pretty gusty from the southwest direction at 7 to 12 miles per hour. Looking across the region tomorrow, temperatures will be in the upper 50s for the majority of the region. And looking at the week ahead, you can expect to see some rain as we head into Saturday. And on Sunday, that chance for precipitation will continue to be around, and especially as we head into some cooler temperatures overnight. But again, Curtis, on Saturday morning, we can expect to see a chance for snow. Isn't that exciting?
Snow. It's fun to watch, but it's not fun to be in. So I'm going to have to fish for some clothes to bundle up this weekend. Thanks so much, Aaron. Now, speaking of clothes, the Ohio University held a clothing swap for faculty and students. The Office of Sustainability held the East Green Clothing Swap, where students can bring their unwanted clothes in exchange for the climate and sustainability ambassadors donating clothes. This event encourages people to explore other options rather than using their money on new clothes. Instead, these students get the opportunity to save money and find different ways they can sustain and benefit the environment. The climate and sustainability ambassadors at the event all have a passion for sustainability techniques like thrifting. This was the third sustainability event of the day, and others include a recycling education on West Green for the importance of plants for sustainable living on South Green to encompass events of all three major greens on campus.
Coming up in sports, Ohio women's basketball hits the road this weekend to take on another non-conference opponent. And Ohio football has its first win streak of the season. Hear from the head coach next on Newswatch. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
On Nova, Universe Revealed.
A black hole is the greatest exhibition of nature's mysterious powers.
An infinitely dense point
that causes ripples in the fabric of space-time itself.
If you really want to understand the deepest questions of the universe, you have to understand black holes.
Black holes on Nova.
Art is important because it shows who we were, where we came from.
Through my art, I'm creating a more powerful woman within myself.
Inspiration is everywhere. It's important that we learn our culture, our practices. We are tied to the land. That's our blood. That's where we come from.
On Secrets of the Dead, 1613, two starkly different men sail halfway around the world from Japan.
Why would a Franciscan monk accompany a samurai?
If you step foot in Japan as a missionary, you're facing almost certain death.
But to establish a trade relationship between Spain and Japan, they'd first need the blessing of the Pope, a samurai in the Vatican, on Secrets of the Dead.
The best journalism is that which builds communities.
We're on deadline, ready to put it on the page.
I get real uptight about deadlines.
Son Tom Cullen, our reporter, lives the job.
We've always operated at the break-even point.
$7.
The newspaper not being around terrifies me.
Readers decide our future, not any branch of government.
Storm Lake, Monday, November 15th at 10 on Independent Lens.
Ohio football has had a lot to celebrate these last couple of weeks as the Bobcats are on a winning streak. After their emotional victory against Miami, the Bobcats took home another one against Eastern Michigan on the road Tuesday with a 34-26 victory. Curtis Rourke had a signature performance in the win, throwing for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. Although the Bobcats have secured their first winning streak of the season, head coach Tim Albin knows that they will be in for an emotional game on their senior night against Toledo.
I'm a big teddy bear when it comes to these young men. And, you know, you think about their time and the recruitment of them. If we can find a way to play our best for and try to steal another one, because no one's going to give us much of a chance. And it'll be, again, a huge challenge. I don't think it puts any more pressure on us, but it'll dang sure if we can find a way to get it done, it's going to make it that much more sweeter.
Ohio will take on Toledo in their final home game of the season Tuesday night. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. Bobcat Hoops is finally back at the Convo, and what a way to start the season. In their first official matchup since their magical run to the NCAA tournament last year, Ohio hosted the Belmont Bruins this past Tuesday. Thousands of fans packed the Convo to see all the skill that was on display. And what a display it was! Ohio was able to pull away with a 92-80 victory against Belmont, and guard Mark Sears was phenomenal. After his 27-point performance, here's what he had to say.
Coach, he put together a great game plan, and we just stuck together and we executed. And the results came. I was just shooting with confidence and putting extra shots, and your work, trust it, and it always pay off. We just throw it in the post, and they'll double team the post and kick out easy threes.
Ohio women's hoops is also underway, but unfortunately the Bobcats couldn't capture a similar result in their season opener. Unfortunately, the Bobcats were in South Bend, Indiana to take on Notre Dame. It was a 105-69 loss. Ohio will look to brush it off at Liberty University. They will have their hands full as the Flames are coming off an 89-40 trouncing against Belmont Abbey College. But head coach Bob Bolden likes that his team is playing against elite competition.
I think anytime you think you're going to be better than average, good to great, you should probably try to play people that are better than you and give your kids an opportunity to win marquee games. You know, it's twofold. It's one, you get a chance for a signature win, and then secondly, you kind of prepare yourself for what it's going to be like in conference play. It's going to be, you know, our most difficult games are typically our conference games.
The Bobcats' next game against Liberty will tip off at 7 p.m. on Saturday. Ohio hockey prepares to hit the road to play Liberty as well this weekend. The Bobcats will look to snap Liberty's undefeated winning streak at home, and they have 2 opportunities to do so. Ohio is coming off strong performances from their 3 games last week and will look to carry its momentum against the Flames. Puck drop is scheduled for 7 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. I'm Darius Sethna, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Curtis.
Great work, Darius. Thank you. A 105-year-old Louisiana woman now holds a world record in the 100-meter dash. Retired teacher Julia Hawkins took the top spot for the race of the Louisiana Senior Games. That makes her the first female track and field athlete and the first American to set a track and field world record.
Julia, how did it feel?
Wonderful. I'm so happy.
There was concern before the race about the lines on the track and your inability to see. Did that bother you?
Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate it. Again, looking at tomorrow, we have a high of 57 degrees and a chance of overnight precipitation. That could be anything such as snow, rain, or sleet, so best to be prepared as you head out onto the roads, especially overnight tomorrow. And looking at the week ahead, expect to see temperatures overnight drop as low as 26 degrees. Back to you, Curtis.
Thanks, Aaron. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thank you for watching. Feel free to stay tuned to PBS NewsHour and go to WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Goldsberry Wealth Strategies in Athens and Parkersburg, focusing on helping people achieve a life well lived with a custom strategy. Information at goldsberrywealth.com. Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Support comes from Ohio University's Center for Campus and Community Engagement, fostering mutually beneficial partnerships between faculty, staff, and students